Greetings, confession, the sucker for toes. I met this man at an upscale bar in Kingston. The man looked amazingly handsome and well-built. We were there chatting and his teeth were like lily white. He had casual vibes about him and a quite professional personality. He invited me out for dinner about 2 times afterwards, but he never asked for anything sexual. It was kind of weird to me seeing how the man looked, but then again, I just thought to myself that good men still existed. After getting to know each other for a little over 2 months, he started giving me financial support, and he would emphasize that I go to a nail salon and get a pedicure done at least once a week. He just said he likes to see a woman's toe looking well kept. One weekend he invited me to a hotel on the coast with him. I got super excited because I saw this as the opportunity to give him some of my mind-blowing sex. I prepared myself by clean shaving and packing some sexy negligés. After dinner, we went to our room and I went to freshen up and changed into my first negligé. I turned on some sexy slow music and came out dancing for him. I saw the bulge in his underwear and decided to take it out. The man had one of the most beautiful pieces that I have ever seen. The length was about 10 inches and the girth was good. It looked very clean and smelled fresh. That sent me in overdrive. I decided to put it in my mouth, but to my surprise he said no. He said I should wiggle my toes in his face first. He inspected my toes individually, and then started smelling them. He was like spending time giving each toe foreplay. I found this very weird and distasteful, but I just went along with pleasing him. He started sensually licking my foot bottom and heels, and it tickled so bad that he tried to squirm away. He seriously told me not to run away but to be a big girl and take it. I bore it, and to my surprise the man placed all of my 5 toes in his mouth and started sucking like it was his last meal. When I looked, he was rubbing his big piece and ejaculated. I was like, okay, now I can get some good sex in my aching cunt. To my surprise, the man went to sleep on me, so I had to go to the bathroom and masturbate. When I woke up the next morning, I see where he left $200,000 in an envelope, and a note thanking me for giving him my clean feet. As weird as it was, the money made me feel good. When he came in back from the gym, we showered and went for breakfast. He would run his toes on mine under the table and smile with me. When we got back to the room, he just asked me to lay down, and he placed his head at my feet and hugged them, then fell asleep. For the entire weekend, the man didn't have any direct sexual encounter with me, only my toes. My toes were like water soaked from the amount of sucking they got. After this, I started getting more and more money from him. I learned that it was always good to save for rainy days, so I opened an account and put all the money he gave me. One night we went to a hotel in New Kingston and I already knew the drill, so I prepared my feet and gave them to him. This time the man said no, he wanted something better tonight. My vagina instantly got wet hearing that because I thought the man came to his senses. I got the biggest upsetter when he told me to use 3 of my toes to push in his anus. I swear I died right there. He told me he would pay me a large sum of money to do that. When I pushed in my toes, the nice body man started gyrating on them and was behaving like a little bitch. He was whining like a go-go and ejaculated on my feet. My stomach was extremely sick and I ran to the bathroom and threw up. I spent a little time in there, and when I came back out he was gone, but he left an envelope with $3,000 US. I quickly called a taxi, hurriedly left the hotel, and went home. I thank God he did not know where I lived. The night he called and sent text messages and I locked off my phone. The next day when I turned on my phone, I saw a text where he said he would find me. That was it for me. I went online immediately and booked a one-way ticket to my cousin in Atlanta that same day. I had all the cash that he gave me. That was 3 years ago and I have not been back to Jamaica since then. Identity withheld. Greetings, dear Mckoy. My boyfriend is too rough during sex. I'm a 19-year-old female and my boyfriend is 22 years old. I didn't lose my virginity until about 6 months ago, so I don't have much experience with penetrative sex. To be absolutely honest, it took me a long to get in the groove because the first few times were extremely painful. So now, whenever we have intercourse, I asked him to be more gentle because I can't manage him being rough. I make sure to include other activities, such as oral sex, to ensure that he is satisfied, and he gets off every time we are together, so I never considered this an issue. He is complaining that it is full time that I get used to rough sex, and once he starts penetrating me, it's like he is a wild beast, and if I beg him to stop he goes even harder. This is a lot to endure given his large size, and I'm not going to lie, it's really painful. I spend a lot of time making him happy in other ways, but I think because he watches a lot of porn, it pushes him to believe that sex should always be hard, which irritates me because I'm doing my best in learning how to pleasure him. I love him, but I am scared of having sex with him, and I don't know what to do. LF. Dear LF, it seems that your boyfriend has a porn addiction and believes that being rough is the right way to satisfy a woman. If he loves and respects you, he would never try to hurt you. If he is unable to respect your boundaries, you should consider ending your relationship because there is a greater likelihood that he will push your boundaries further. You should never be pressured into doing something you don't want to. Greetings, confession. My best friend's husband wants to leave her to be with me. I am in a relationship with my best friend's husband, and even though I realize this is a terrible deception, I just can't stop. I know of instances where she has been unfaithful to him, so it's not like she is prim and proper either. I am 30 years old and have known her for 4 years. She is 35, and her husband is 40. He is a nice guy and I have always liked him. I never knew he had any sexual interest in me. However, during the lockdowns, he began sending me flirty texts. I was surprised and flattered because I had found him appealing ever since we met. He said that things had not been going well in the bedroom with her since she had their 2-year-old daughter. I was already aware of this because she did confide in me and told me that she no longer has the energy for sex. He came over to my house one afternoon about 5 months ago to pick up something for her, and I invited him inside because I was cooking. He came up behind me while I was around the stove, and wrapped his arms around my waist. I didn't push him away. Instead, we ended up kissing passionately, and we had sex right there in the kitchen. Since then, we've been having an affair. He told me he loves me and wants to leave his wife for me. I am confident that we are a better couple than he and his wife. There is a lot more chemistry between us and a lot more things we share in common. I know what I'm doing isn't right. However, she also cheated on him. We are best friends, so she shares her secrets with me. I will never tell her husband about her infidelity. However, if he leaves her for me, it will destroy their family and our friendship. I guess I'm willing to take that risk. Write to us via WhatsApp 1-876-353-1389 and remember to subscribe and share, dear Mckoy.